Hello friends, I am Dr. R.B. Solanki, Vasantrao Naik, Art, Science and Commerce College, Shahada, Department of Chemistry. Friends, we have already discussed about the first order reaction, second order reaction, third order reaction and zero order reactions. So now in that all reactions we have studied that order and molecularity are the similar, identical. But now here we have to study some pseudo-molecular reactions. Pseudo-molecular reactions mean some deceiving reactions. So deceiving reactions, in these reactions we can study how they differ from order and molecularity. Now definition of pseudo-molecular reaction is the reaction whose order differs from its molecularity is called as pseudo-molecular reactions. So, for example, we have some examples are given here. First is investigation of cane sugar. When cane sugar is hydrolyzed, we will get glucose and fructose. So here there is molecularity 2. But experimentally it is obtained that order is 1. Here is the reason is that the concentration of water is constant. So rate of reaction is not depending on concentration of water. So the reaction rate only depends on the concentration of cane sugar only. So here there is molecularity 2 but order is only 1. So here this reaction is deceiving reaction or pseudo-molecular reaction. Second example is decomposition of hypochlorite solution in alkaline medium. So here the reaction is thrice KClO gives twice KCl plus KClO3. Here also molecularity 3 there because here there are 3 moles of hypochlorite solution are taken. So we will get here the reaction product 2 KCl plus KClO3. So here molecularity is 3 and order is 2. Another example is decomposition of carbonyl sulfide in water. So here COS plus H2O forming CO2 plus H2O. Here also the concentration of water is constant. So molecularity 2 and order is 1. Hence, with all the reactions are having different molecularity and order. So they are called as pseudo-molecular reactions. So there are few regions for which pseudo-molecular behavior are shown by the reactions. So there are regions. First reason is one of the reactant in large excess such that its concentration remains constant. So here in case of hydrolysis of ester, that is CH3COO C2H5, that is the ethyl ester, ethyl acetate, when hydrolyzed by water we will get acetic acid plus ethanol. So in this reaction water is in large excess, hence the rate of equation shows that the rate of reaction is only depending on ester concentration, not on water concentration. So this reaction is of first order but molecularity is 2. Hence this reaction is also shows the pseudo-molecular behavior. So here we know that the water is in large excess, so its reaction rate does not depend on concentration of water. Second reason is that in case of the reactions conducted in the solvent which are themselves one of the reactants. So here these substances like here the acetic anhydride esterification in alcohol shows acetic anhydride plus twice ethanol. It gives twice CH3COO C2H5 plus H2O. So here there is molecularity 3 because 1 acetic anhydride and 2 alcohol moles are taken. So molecularity 3 but order is 1 as alcohol is in excess and it is used as catalyst in this reaction. So the molecularity is 3, order is only 1. Hence this is also pseudomolecular behavior. So this reaction also shows the pseudomolecular behavior. Here the reactant alcohol takes itself into the reaction. Third reason is that the reaction which are subjected to catalysis in which concentration of reactant does not change, here the catalyst. So catalyst does not taking part in the reaction, it remains as it is, it only change the rate of reaction or enhance the rate of reaction. So for example, decomposition of diacetone alcohol to acetone in aqueous solution catalyzed by OH minus ion. Aqueous means water, aqua means water. In presence of water, this reaction is carried out. So here this is the diacetone alcohol and OH minus ion catalyzing this reaction, forming twice CH3CO, CH3, that is twice acetone. So here in this way there are the regions, 3 regions by which their pseudomolecular behavior of the reactions is done. So in this way we can show that the pseudomolecular reactions have different order and molecularities. Hello friends, we have already discussed about pseudomolecular reaction and regions for pseudomolecular behavior. So now we have to determine the methods of the order of reactions. How order of reaction determined? So determination of order of reaction. Order of reaction is determined experimentally. It is experimental quantity. So by carried out the reactions in thermostat at constant temperature, concentration of one or more reactant carried out at different time intervals using suitable technique and methods. So here in chemical kinetics there are different methods. One is a volumetric method, so in which at different time intervals we can calculate the rate of reactions. So here for that calculation there are following methods. First is integrated rate equation method. In this method the reaction is carried out at constant temperature. The values of initial concentration of the reactants at different time intervals is determined using integrated rate equations. Rate is determined by integral formulas. So this is known as integral method or method of integration. So here for first order reaction we have to use the formula K1 is equal to 2.303 log of A upon A minus X. This formula is tried and calculated the constant K for different time intervals. When these all values of K1 becomes constant, it is a first order reaction. If the values of K1 are not constant, then try for another expression, that is for second order reaction. It is K2 is equal to 1 upon A Tx upon A minus X. This equation is tried. So by trying this equation, also here we have to calculate values of K2. And if the values of K2 becomes constant, all the values are constant, then it is second order reaction. But if these values are not constant, then try for third order reaction. In this way we can calculate the rate constant of the reaction. So this is the trial and error methods. By trying first order, if it is not, then try for second order. If it is not, then try for third order. In this way we can determine values of K or order of reactions. So order of reaction depends on constant values of K. As we get constant values of K, we will get the order of reactions. So till we will get constant values of K2 or K1 or K3, we can try it time to time. So now second method is graphical method. In this method, we have to plot the graph of values of K versus time. So the rate constant at different time intervals versus time, we have to plot the graph for first order reaction, second order reaction, third order reaction. So by means of slope, we can calculate values of K. So for first order reaction, we have to calculate K1 is equal to 2.303 into slope. So by means of slope, we can calculate the value of K1 for first order reaction. In this way, for second order reaction, the formula is K2 is equal to slope upon A. So A is initial concentration and slope is calculated from the graph of values of K versus time. So in this way, rate constant K is determined. So this is the graphical method for the determination of order of the reaction. So this is the second method for the determination of order of reaction. And third method for the determination of order of reaction is half-life method. Here in this method, we must know what is half-life period or fractional life period. So the time required to complete of 50% of reaction is known as half-life period, or the time in which the initial concentration is reacted half of the quantity is called as half-life period. So it is represented by T1 half or T.5. So here for first order reaction, T1 half is equal to 0.693 upon K1. Hence K1 is equal to 0.693 divided by T1 half. This is for first order reaction, where K1 is the rate constant of first order reaction and T1 half is the half-life period for the first order reaction. Similarly, for second order reaction, T1 half is equal to 1 upon A K2. Hence, we have K2 is equal to 1 upon A T1 half. So where A is initial concentration, K2 is rate constant for second order reaction, T1 half is the half-life period for second order reaction. So this is for second order. Similarly, here we can write for nth order reaction, T1 half is proportional to 1 upon A raised to n minus 1. As here, this is the K1 is proportional to 1 upon A raised to 0, K2 is proportional to 1 upon A raised to 1. Similarly, for nth order reaction, T1 half is proportional to 1 upon A raised to n minus 1, where n is the order of reaction. If reaction is carried out at two different initial concentrations A1 and A2 at times T1 and T2, then we have T1 is proportional to 1 upon A1 raised to n minus 1 and T2 is proportional to 1 upon A raised to n minus 1. So taking the ratio of these two, we have T2 divided by T1 is equal to A1 raised to n minus 1 divided by A2 raised to n minus 1. Taking log of both sides, we have log of T2 upon T1 is equal to n minus 1 log of A2 upon A1. So by the rules of logarithm, we can write here log of T2 minus log of T1 is equal to n minus 1 log of A1 minus n minus 1 log of A2. Taking common n minus 1, we can write here n minus 1 is equal to log of T2 minus log of T1 divided by log A1 minus log A2, call it equation number 1. So by this, in this way, we can, using this formula, we can calculate value of 1 n, that is the order of reaction. So we can calculate here order of reaction by using the half-life method or fractional change method. So in this way, here we have determined the order of the reaction using half-life period method. Now the last method is differential method. that is fourth method. According to rate law, here we have to consider the rate equation. So in rate equations, consider for A1 and A2 two different initial concentrations. dx1 by dt is proportional to a raised to n, a1 raised to n, and second dx2 by dt is proportional to a2 raised to n, where a1 and a2 are different initial concentrations and n is order of reaction. Now taking the ratio of these two, dx1 k a1 raised to n, dx2 by dt is equal to k a2 raised to n. So where k is the constant or velocity constant of first order reaction or second order reaction, so it is velocity constant. Now taking the ratio of these two, we have dx1 by dt divided by dx2 by dt is equal to a1 raised to n divided by a2 raised to n, that is a1 upon a2 raised to n. Taking log of both sides and simplifying, we get n is equal to log of dx1 by dt minus log of dx2 by dt divided by log of a1 minus log of a2, where n is the order of reaction. So in this way we can determine the order of the reaction using differential methods. So we have discussed all the four types of the methods determination for order of reactions.